conservation reserve programs. Those are programs that are available that will pay you. They'll pay you conservation incentives to provide financial rewards. They'll provide financial rewards to you if you will agree to utilize your land for conservation purposes. So somebody says, well, what do you mean by conservation purposes? Okay, the conservation purposes have to do with you being willing to preserve the natural resources on your land. Yeah, they'll pay you. Yes, they'll pay you to preserve the natural resources on your land. Yep. They're looking for people that are willing to utilize a certain portion of their land. You don't even have to use all of your land for that, but you're willing and to preserve natural resources. These type of conservation programs will pay you to utilize your. Okay, so let's talk about farm and ranch credit protection. To loan on land, whether it's going to be used for a farm or a ranch or whatever purpose, they don't want to loan because there's no protection to cover them in terms of risk management. So let's say something that they've gotten from the lender. Well, the value of the land, when we're talking about traditional settings, may be worth more than the home or the improvement that's on the land. And so that's going to make it be in a position of loss, if that makes sense. If you're talking about a car, it'd be upside down. In other words, there wouldn't be enough value there in the land to cover the amount of the loan that's been extended for the improvement. What Farmer Max, we talking, if you're on the registered site where you've registered, then you're going to be getting a digital copy of all of this information, along with all of the links that we put inside of the chat that has specific information, like specific lenders that specialize in loaning to purchase land or loaning to refinance land, loaning for specific reasons that you would have as a landowner. These people, they're not traditional lenders. They specialize that would have the credit criteria and how they can offset certain risks to tailor a loan just for you. That's in the chat that we've had in the previous meeting. So if you're missing any of those links that we put in there, and it was a lot of them, specific to people who've registered, because this meeting is giving you specific information, not just general information like we do in the weekly meetings on Sunday. This is specific for you to be able to get started with purchasing land or expand the land ownership that you have to start leasing a portion of your land or selling a portion of your land to provide non-performance income. Okay, so inside of the chat from this meeting and from previous meetings, there's going to be information that only you who have registered will be privy to. All right, so we talked about Farmer Mac as being one of the companies that supports lenders for financing land. Okay, and we talked about if you're Olympic lenders and none of them specialize in loaning on land, we put a link in the chat that would allow you to be able to get your lender added to the approved list of supported Farmer Mac lenders, Farmer Mac approved lenders. Okay. So what happens is Farmer Mac will help to bridge the gap of the credit risk that there is for loaning to land, which is specific for land. So their solutions are very flexible. Their tools that they're used to allow lenders to seek full or partial credit risk relief, which will give them incentive to make the loan. These solutions can be customized to fit the lender's unique needs. There are two core products that the lenders can choose from. So it just depends on what each lender needs to help improve their equity capital and manage the general credit risk. So the borrower holds limits or portfolio concentrations. So it just depends on what they've got in terms of what they have set up in their pipeline. Lenders can choose from a guaranteed security product, or they can purchase a commitment product. Each one is designed to meet different needs. Additionally, Farmer Mac can tailor the products for flow loans, single loan, portfolio of loans. So if you've got a lender that you've been dealing with, and that lender does not specialize or will not loan on land purchases, go ahead and get that link that's in the chat to Farmer Mac. Send it to, give them the opportunity to become one of the approved lenders that's a part of the Farmer Mac. Yeah, you want that. Yes. Very important. I'm talking to someone that's actually inside of the chat. Forgive me for that. They made a comment and I was commenting. And the chat that I'm referring to is the chat that's inside of the registrant. Inside of the registrant link in event. With if you're an agent, if you're a professional, and you got some lenders that you would like to become Farmer Mac approved lenders so that they can begin to loan specifically for land and land products, go into that chat that's on the and get that link that you can give to your lender, and they can get in touch with Farmer Mac and go ahead and answer the questionnaire and follow the directives. Provide. Okay. Also, lenders can obtain credit protection from Farmer Mac for specified eligible loans. So for a modest annual fee, farmer loans that are default. So that reduces the risk. So you don't have to be concerned about a whole lot about, okay, I'm a lender, but we don't want to extend ourselves in this way because we could be left with quite a bit of loss. No, they're willing to, at certain intervals, purchase any scheduled loans that default. So the loss protection can be structured with a lender retaining a portion of the risk if desired for a reduced fee. So it just depends on what they negotiate with Farmer Mac, but it is available to them, and it does increase the incentive of the lender to want to begin to explore extending their products to loaning money to purchase land. Okay, so let's talk about how it works. Let's say you've got a lender that you've dealt with. Let's say you're a realtor or a licensed professional or a wholesaler, and you've got some lenders that you like to work with. Well, first, the lender identifies the degree of protection that they're seeking, whether they want full or partial risk protection. Then Farmer Mac will have an individual or individuals that will review the loan and approve those loans according to its standard credit requirements. So we talked about the credit requirements that most Farmer Mac lenders follow, and some variations and things they can do to offset some of the requirements. Okay. So then once they've approved, once Farmer Mac approves your lender or approves the particular loans that they're looking to insure. So what they could do, let's say you want to purchase land. They don't do land loans, but for your loan, they can get approved by sending that information to Farmer Mac regarding your loan specifically. Let's say they don't want to be on their approved list completely to be open to do those type of loans. Maybe they don't have a staff to extend themselves to open up fully to they will send specifics about your loan, the loan that you are proposing to purchase land or refinance your land. And once that particular loan is approved, the lender that retains the loans and on its own balance sheet and continues to earn the interest. So they keep that loan. They keep it on their own balance sheet. They can earn the interest on that loan, and yet they've got the credit protection through Farmers Credit to cover it, Farmer Mac, should it happen to default. Loan at the price, but right there at the rate that they agreed to at the time that they established that particular features that are involved. And why am I talking about this? Because there may be some professionals, some licensed with helping people to purchase land. But the problem is they don't have a lender that's willing to loan the money, and they can't suggest the lender. And most of their purchasers don't know of any lenders that are willing to loan money for them to purchase land or to expand. Okay. So you're professional and you want to get more involved and you want to help your lenders that you're familiar with, that you associate with, some of those that you suggest or that some of your clients have previously dealt with. You want to see how you can get them involved. Or you specifically want to purchase land. Your banker doesn't do these type loans, but you want to help them to get involved. What I'm talking about is a way to help them expand so that they can get protection, risk protection, to cover a specific loan that you're talking about, a particular product that has to do with land financing. So some of the key features would be the lender eliminates all or a part of, so you can pick certain loans that they're going to actually cover. If full credit protection is elected, the risk weighing to as little as a position. Okay. Lenders retain the loan on their balance sheet. That's a benefit. So that they can continue to earn interest on their balance sheet for any default risk, depending on the capacity of their agreement and their coverage. And also, it's a very flexible way to maintain credit risk while not having to say no to a customer. You can continue to grow that with that customer. You can extend this just for a specific customer that you've done business with. Now I'm speaking to a particular lender. You guys can still, you don't have to discourage them because you don't loan. You can make the loan and get the credit protection, keep the loan on your balance sheet, continue to accrue the interest. Those are just some incentives. Okay, so we're about to move on to something else that lenders may, and I know somebody watching that benefits the customer or the lender, as will also be incentivized your lender, your banker, to be interested in doing these type of loans, a wholesaler to be interested in doing these type of loans, or this company can become one of your wholesalers. You see what I mean? Yeah. Okay. I want you to take a look at this, how it can benefit you, and then I'm going to move forward. Okay, here we go. So, agricultural mortgage-backed securities. You really want to look at Farmer Mac guarantees. They look both lenders, the credit protection and liquidity for the desired population of eligible loans. So this way, of the eligible U.S. loans, desired population of eligible guarantee that ensures timely on to the agricultural mortgage-backed security. So you're looking at an investment opportunity that's there as well. Loans, a whole group of loans. So they've made a whole bunch of land loans, but they don't normally pre-approve them. They've already pre-worked them according to these guidelines for Farmer Mac, and now they're in their pipeline. Okay. And they're seeking credit protection for these loans. So Farmer Mac, again, will review them according to their standards. When they approve them, then they'll issue a guarantee. And that guarantee is a way that they will issue timely payment of principal and interest. Okay. And the lender may purchase that mortgage-backed security to earn its desired interest on the security, or Farmer Mac may purchase the security if the lender would like to action liquid by just selling that whole bulk of loans to Farmer Mac, and then Farmer Mac will purchase the mortgage-backed securities. It's really beneficial. I'm going to put all of this in the link so you can just pass it on to your lender. It could be gibberish to you, But at the same time, you've been trying to get a loan to purchase land or to expand your production in your land, and you haven't been able to find a lender to do it. One, I specialize in land loans. Two, if you've got a lender that you've dealt with, or you're a realtor and you've got a group of lenders that you normally deal with, or you're a mortgage banker or a mortgage broker, you want to make loans on land, but your wholesaler will not purchase them, will not get involved with that, will not underwrite them. I'm extending to you a way that through Farmer Mac, you can extend your realm of financing, your realm of productivity by Farmer Mac, or having your lender to specifically include your loan or new loans that have to do with purchasing land, not necessarily becoming an approved lender, but getting those loans approved to be covered as far as credit risk. Or you can just sell it. You can sell, as a lender, you can sell the whole lot of those loans back, or you can participate in the mortgage-backed securities. It's all kinds of ways. If it sounds, you could pass it on to your lender. You could pass it on to lenders that you may be aware of. You, if you're a lender, can pass it on to those who are part of your board, your underwriters, those who make the decisions as to who you're going to sell your loans to, and you can begin to benefit from it. So as we just talked about, some key factors is that lenders can eliminate all of their credit risk on identified land loans. The lender holds the mortgage-backed security, the agricultural mortgage-backed security on its balance sheet, then the risk from 100%, you're keeping it and maintaining it, so you can make sure that there's no risk involved. And you can improve your equity position while continuing to earn interest. The lender elects to have Farmer Mac produce the mortgage-backed security. It also generates liquidity that can be used full, and you just sell the loans outright. It offers a way for you guys to manage your credit risk while not having to say no to customers, as we mentioned before. Okay, so I think we're going to talk a little bit more about this, and then we're going to move into some ways that, because I've got like a ton of things that we can talk about in terms of the lender, but I don't want to lose sight of you guys and lose you into a sea of time. You know, you're looking at this because you're interested in purchasing land. You want to know how it can benefit you, and I want to make sure that you get all of the benefits that are involved with it benefiting you. Okay, so we're going to go further in talking about ways that it can benefit you. All right, so I'm going to skip down from all of that, and we're going to go to, all right, here we go. There's a question here. Let me answer this question, guys. Give me just a moment to answer this question that's in here, and then we can go on to the next thing. I just want to make sure that I'm covering everybody and everything that they give to those who have paid their registration fee. Really important to me that I continue to be attentive. Okay. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to, there's a calculator, your debt to income ratio as it pertains to Farmer Mac. I'm going to put that in that link in the chat. Calculate your payments. Let's say you are interested in refinancing your land, or you're interested in purchasing land. You want to know an estimate of how much it will cost to do that. I have put that in the chat, put the link in the chat. Okay. All right, next we're going to talk about USDA underwriting guidelines. Now, I'm not going to talk about that a lot, but what I am going to do is copy that link. We've got a copy of some previous USDA underwriting guidelines. I am going to put that right there in the chat for you, so that you can go to the chat that has to do with the people who registered for the You've Got Questions, we've got answers link in Eventbrite. I'm putting that in there now so you guys can benefit from that information. Give me just a second here. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that stuff is beneficial to you this year. I don't know how well it looks like the link to the YouTube live might be kind of struggling right now. Doesn't look like it's getting the connection that it needs. So if that is the case, I am going to maybe close that out so that the quality won't be hampered. I'd rather for people to be getting, if they're not really getting a good product from the live, then I should cut that off so that they're not missing anything that's available. So I think I'm going to, yeah, I may be about to shut that YouTube live down because, you know, we don't want to send out something that's not good quality. All right. For people who want to purchase land or want to refinance their land or want to increase their productivity or expand what it is that they're doing with their land. You can do that with some of these loans and grants that are available. And I just put the USDA link in there because it's a vast array of information that's provided for you there in that link. We already talked about on previous scheduled program what are some of the different types of land ownership. So we've already answered that question. Okay. So now we're going to move over into those people who are landowners, and you want to know how to optimize in the monetizing of your land without compromising your ownership. So you want to keep your ownership. You may own family land, you may own land in and of your individual, and you want to know how you can monetize it. Well, I want to say to you that as a professional with decades of successful and profitable real estate ventures, I'm here to help you monetize your land. I want you to imagine maintaining the ownership of your cherished property while generating a steady stream or river or ocean of non-performance lease income, or selling a portion of the land and maintaining the ownership of the rest of it. It's not just possible, but it's a reality. We can achieve it together. And this is what I want to talk to you about. So right now, my objective is that maintain ownership and still generate income through leasing. So the beauty of this approach is that the lease can be assigned from the current recipient to heirs who may not have a vested interest. So later on, after you've built it up and you've got agreements that have long terms on them, 10 to 20 years, you can now assign all of that non-performance income and the agreements over to your heirs. We're creating legacy is what we're doing. They may not have a vested interest in the property, but you can assign those agreements over to them and the benefits of those agreements that would ensure that the land remains within the family and the proceeds continue to benefit generation after generation. So here's what we're going to cover: the various types of leases and to understand how the different lease options operate and what's available, potential to who might be interested in leasing the property from you. You'll discover corporations that are eager to lease your land. So firstly, why would a company want to lease from you? Well, they want to lease for recreational purposes, a way to have a space for outdoor activities, for agriculture purposes, to support farming or cultivation, for energy, to facilitate renewable energy projects where they need a place where they can actually host outdoor events. So they want to do it for that. The next steps that we want to talk about is how to evaluate your land, how to assess its potential for leasing, how to identify interested corporations, how to decide if leasing is the right step for you, if you want to lease a portion of your land or if you want to lease somebody else's land to embark on some of these ventures. journey, like I said before, is help you unlock the hidden value that's in your family land or is in the land that you own. It's holding an untapped potential that you might not be aware of. So we want to help you with the right strategies that can help you be your land's ownership. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. It is a link to National Land Realty's, takes you to and my history and how you can benefit from my services and the years of experience ending. We are nearing home. We've only got an hour left and we've got like tons and tons of information to cover. We've got questions for days. So I am going to see if I can condense some of this information as we move into the next segment of our seminar. The last segment that takes us all the way through from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We're going to stop one time during this next recording. Now we're going to be going out now. I'm going to do a summation of this recording and then we'll come back. You'll have this condensed information. Now, if you are watching me and you're not registered in the Zoom, you're not registered in the Eventbrite, you're just watching me maybe live on YouTube, I'm thankful that you're here. But the specific information that I'm releasing is going into the chat. All of that information is in the chat, and you can, and that chat is in the accessible to those who have actually registered through the Eventbrite. You've got questions, we've got answers. Now, here's the thing. Even after we have surpassed the date of this event, which is October the 14th, you'll be able to register in Eventbrite. Every registrant gets a recorded copy of every segment that we've done. You'll get a link to every item that we've offered, specific information, specific lenders, contact information, and you'll even get the digitized download of the written transcript and information that can help benefit you. I'm here to make sure that you're getting the benefit that you need, because pretty soon people are going to be running around. Everybody's going to be trying to own land. Well, I want to get you into the front side of that, the onset of that, before there's so much competition out there and so many people trying to buy land that now everybody has jacked up their prices and the cost of everything has increased. Right now, it's rare that people are interested in purchasing land. They don't see the benefit. They don't understand the onslaught of changes that are happening now. A lot of people are not looking at current events, or they're looking at current events, but they're not understanding how important land ownership is becoming. So I want to help you get on this side of that, so that when they're scrounging around trying to see how to purchase land and qualify and all of that, you've already owned your land. You've already gotten your non-performance income set up. You already got your lease agreements, long-term lease agreements, and you are set up in your land and you are thriving. That is my job as a land professional with National Land Realty. So go on Eventbrite, register for You've Got Real Estate Questions and Land Title Questions. I've Got Answers. Register. And you can register all the way up to October the 18th, even though the event is today, October the 14th. And that will allow you to get a copy of all of this information that you will benefit from. So I'm going to stop right now. We are going to download this, convert it, prepare it for you as the digitized information that's available to